And I think we have now 3 o'clock, and after the shop time you have a little time for sighting in Lucerne, and then we go back and pass about at 7 o'clock in Zurich. It's all right? All right.
Things shaking.
After this ride, there will be high anxiety.
I just hit some sort of personal wall that I didn't even know was there. It was my first real major depression.
How long is this part of it?
About 6 minutes, I think. I don't know if I can handle it. I was scared of it. Wait, really?
I realized, oh, I've got to do something about it.
Amy! Jesus Christ. Help! Help! You gotta help me! I don't want to go. I really want to go.
Get in there.
I'll fly with you, Jack. Going up there.
Do it.
Give me a match. Fine. Not too many people, right? He's going with us. Take that kid away from them switches. Hey! Somebody talking. My ears are popping. Come on. Climbing up higher? You staying high enough?
And you can't succeed your way out of pain.
No, you cannot. That's a very good way of putting it.
Okay, how are you?
I saw you in Detroit.
In Detroit?
You drove from Chicago to Detroit. See you. Gary.
You cannot succeed your way out of that pain. It was a classic Steven production.
I don't remember a thing, but that's what I heard. I heard it was really great.
I think in your 20s, a lot of things work for you. Your 30s is where you start to become an adult. Suddenly I looked around and said, where is everything? Where's my home? Where is my partner? Where are the sons or daughters that I thought I might have someday? And I realized none of these things are there. So I said, okay, the first thing I've got to do as soon as I get home is remind myself of who I am and where I came from.
Me and my sister, when we were little, she was like 1 year younger than me. And we used to fight like crazy. And the only time we used to join together in solidarity was to give my parents a hard time. My father was your classic Sunday driver. He demanded that we all get in the car on Sunday. And we all had to go out for a drive. And me and my sister, we found the exact spot in the back seat where no matter what we did, he couldn't reach us. You're gonna get the belt. You're gonna get the belt when we go home. And then we go home, and my sister would always go first. She was so tough. She'd come out, she's like, that wasn't so bad. And I'd go in and I'd come out crying and everything. Oh, man. So, the old guys would take us out in all these wrecks. And one thing we wanted when we were kids was we wanted a convertible. We wanted a convertible so bad. This for anybody that drove down here in a used car. My little sister's in the front seat with an ice cream cone.
I lived in this house exactly half a lifetime ago. I enjoyed it here because I liked access to this reservoir. My canoe remains, it's still there. This is the room where it happened. This is the orange shag rug that was here 40 years ago.
Here's Bruce Springsteen making a record from a kind of bottom in his own life.
This is all inside of me. You can either take it and transform it into something positive, or it can destroy you.
They were very poor. And then he becomes Bruce Springsteen. He felt that his past was making his present complicated, and he wanted to be freed of it. There are records, films, books that don't just come in the front door. They come in the back door, they come up through a trap door and stay with you in life.
If I had to pick one album out and say, this is going to represent you 50 years from now, I'd pick Nebraska.
I used to, I had this habit for a long time. I used to get in my car and I would drive back through my old neighborhood, little town I grew up in. And I got so I would do it really regularly for 2, 3, 4 times a week for years. And I eventually got to wondering, what the hell am I doing? And so I went to see the psychiatrist, and this is true. You know, I sat down and I said, you know, Doc, for years I've been getting in my car and I drive back to my town and I pass my houses late at night and, you know, what am I doing? And he said, I want you to tell me what you think you're doing. So I go, that's what I'm paying you for. So he says, well, what you're doing, he says, is something bad happened. And you're going back, you know, thinking that you can make it right again. Something went wrong, and you keep going back to see if you can fix it or somehow make it right. And I sat there and I said, that is what I'm doing. And he said, well, you can't.
Mansion on the hill, a father's house, used cars. They're all written from kids' perspectives, children trying to make sense of the world that they were born in. I loved my father deeply throughout my entire life. But toward the last 10 years of his life, he was able to see my children. And we had one interaction that made the world a difference to me. Patty and I were going to have our first son. And Daddy came down and visited me one day, and we were living in Los Angeles. And just knocks on my door. This is my dad. Doesn't tell me he's coming. Comes down from San Francisco. He comes in, wants a beer. It's 11 in the morning. I give him a beer. I take one for myself. And he looks at me and says, "Hey, you've really been very good to us." I says, "Yeah, Pop, it's my pleasure. It was well, you guys to the house, and I wasn't very good to you." And I said, "Well, you did the best you could." Ready? 1, 2. Here we go. This is pretty much the setup, I think. I had a little chair here. Mike was over there with this tape player.
The acoustics of this room.
Not bad. The orange shag carpet makes it really dead. There's not a lot of echo, so...
Not just beautiful to look at.
Not only was it beautiful, it came in handy. That's all we're standing on the front lawn, just a twirling her baton. I actually called the reporter who had reported on that story in Nebraska. And she was a lovely woman, and we talked for a half hour or so, and it just sort of focused me on the feeling of what I wanted to write about. Sir, I guess there's just a meanness in this world.
There's a meanness in this world. That explains everything Starkweather's done.
Yeah. I tried to locate where their humanity was as best as I could. I had planned to just write some good songs, teach them to the band, go in the studio and record. But every time I tried to improve on the tape that I had made in that little room, it's the old story of this gets any better, it's going to be worse.
You got one cassette.
That's right.
And you're walking around with it in your pocket for a few weeks?
Yeah, my back pocket.
I hope you had a plastic case on it.
I don't think I had a case. I'm lucky I didn't lose it.
Nebraska was muddy. It was imperfect. It wasn't finished. All the things that you shouldn't put out, he put out.
Any part of you worry, oh my goodness, what am I putting out there?
I knew what the Nebraska record was. It was also a signal that I was sending, that I've had some success, but I do what I want to do. I make the records I want to make. I'm trying to tell a bigger story, and that's the job that I'm trying to do for you.
Born in the USA, pink Cadillac.
All stuff that didn't make it.
Boy, I'm glad we can see it. People wouldn't believe it otherwise.
In New Jersey, they got a turnpike. Stretches from way on the bottom to way on the top. And must have rode it thousands and thousands of times by now. But if you've ever been through it, it looks kind of like I was riding home from New York City one night, and I was watching all the refineries, and it looked like I was on the moon. It inspired me so much, this site. One step for mankind, 2 cheeseburgers to go. That's it. See if I can get it. Well, I had the carburetor, let it clean and check.
You were playing and guy jumped on stage, joined you, Bruce Springsteen. What did that feel like? How did that come about? And he just popped in, or what's the story of that?
Bruce just is like everybody else. He likes to go out and have fun, and you know, there's not always a lot to do, and sometimes we were what was to do, and he would come out, and I think he liked the band, and whenever he got up and played with us, it was, you know, you can't put in words, because I used to watch him a lot when I was growing up, you know, and I was like 15, 16, and I loved his music, so to have someone like him even want to, you know, come and listen to you, much less get up on stage and play with you, it's a big deal, and he's been a big part of my life, and it's cool to have him around this part of town.
I'd like to bring out one more friend. Joe, welcome Bruce Springsteen. It's nice to see you.
Rattlesnake Speedway in the Utah desert. I pick up my money, head back into town, driving across the Waynesburg County line. I got the radio on, but I'm just killing time, working all day.
So often, folks will say, don't meet your heroes, because they will inevitably disappoint you. Our next guest far exceeded my expectations. He is a man of grace, of extreme humility. He's wonderfully supportive. And when I was shooting the Born to Run concert sequence, and the sequence at the end of the film where Bruce sits on his father's lap, I received the devastating news that my house was burning in the Pacific Palisades. My wife and children evacuated to a hotel, and Bruce Springsteen said to me, Scott, get him out of a hotel, take him into my house, which we did. And we stayed there until we got on our feet, because that's who Bruce Springsteen is. He's everything and more than you would expect, and I certainly wouldn't be here without him. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Springsteen.
Brought along my lifelong weapon of choice, the guitar, and I want to dedicate this to all the folks that worked so hard on the film, all our wonderful collaborators, and I sat with my sister, Virginia. I sat with her during one of the screenings, and she held my hand during the scene where I'm sitting on my pop's lap, and after the film ended, she says, "Isn't it wonderful that we have this?" And that's how I feel about it. It's wonderful that I have this. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. This is for you guys.
stand over dead